Earlier this week, Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi announced that he's confident all pupils in Gauteng will have been placed in schools by the end of the coming week. We speak now to Gauteng Education Department spokesperson Steve Mabona for more on the state of readiness. Mr. Mabona, thank you very much for joining us on this Sunday. Let's get straight into it. What is the state of readiness? How many learners are still to be placed in schools?
Thank you very much. We can confirm that we continue to place. And remember, we said we are interacting with parents, those that we have offered alternative spaces so that they then accept those spaces and the numbers will be reducing. Because when we were looking at our numbers from the time MEC announced the over 2,500, now we are sitting at less than 1,400. Those that need to be placed. And we're quite confident that working with our officials in all our district offices, we should be in a position to place all those that need to be placed.
In terms of placement, some parents noting that perhaps where they wanted to go to originally was a bit closer for them, or it was convenient. There has been some concern that schools that their children will be placed into are either too far or they just can't make that distance. What happens in cases like that?
Well, an alternative will be not far too off from what you originally wanted. Because for an example, you have probably parents that would be wanting to leave the townships to go to probably town or the suburbs. And when you give them an alternative space that probably it's closer to home, they are not satisfied with that. And you have those that they will be in a suburb, but then you will take them, furthest probably 10 kilometers away from where they are, where there is space. And they will be saying, again, we're not happy with that. So we have parents that are not happy, and we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience, but this is beyond us because of capacity challenges that we face. We have provided mobile units to those schools that are pressured, and some they've been given funds to increase the number of classes, and some they've opted for temporary placement in some of the spaces that would not be utilized, during this time, in an interim, so that when they have the ample space that will be availed, then they will be in a position to place. So we find ourselves in this, situation, but it's better than last year. Last year we were sitting at about 40,000, so you can see that at least with the cooperation that we received from other parents, we are in a position to place, but we are aware that we will not satisfy everyone, because each and everyone will want to place the child at their first choice. But if we cannot afford that, then we'll be in a position to fulfill our constitutional obligation, that of providing space, and that's what we are working tirelessly. I mean, our officials they have not rested. Even now on the weekend, they continue to find spaces and place those parents that would have interacted with them. When we are indebted to our officials, often we don't thank them enough. They work tirelessly and they are overstretched, and that take a toll to their families as well. So we are actually indebted to them, and we are thankful of the good work that they are doing.
So with all hands on deck in terms of your officials and trying to place pupils, is confidence still high, or are confidence levels still high that all learners will be placed by the end of this week?
Indeed. I mean, we have even went to an extent of saying those that have not applied at all, we are going to, avail the list of schools that they will still have space at the district offices. From the 2nd of March, they will go there and check, because there are those parents that will tell you that I have not applied. Reasons are different. Some couldn't at that time. Some situations have changed. There are so many reasons that we find ourselves, with. So we're going to have to accommodate those as well, because all children, if they are of a school-going age, they must be in the classroom. We need just to make sure that we fulfill that obligation. So we are working tirelessly to make sure that all learners are placed. We are aware that we will not make all parents happy. That one is we are guaranteed, because if a school has received over 1,500, applications, meanwhile they can accommodate probably less than 500. So you know that definitely you will have unhappy parents, but we are happy that we will provide placement.
As we anticipate the address by the Education Minister a little bit later on, perhaps you can let us in on your state of readiness. You spoke of a few capacity challenges which you are trying to address. Compounding the problem is the number of vandalisms at schools that we have witnessed. Do teachers have PPE? Are classes ready to accept pupils? Are they sanitizing all the protocols that are needed to be observed? Are doors of learning ready to open tomorrow?
We can confirm that with the information at our disposal, all our schools will be ready. We are opening a school in Katlehong tomorrow, and all members of the executive in the Gauteng, they will be at a school or two, because they will be doing probably two schools, and make sure that everything is on board, because they are the key stakeholders as well when coming to schooling. So the Premier, he will be leading our team, where we'll be opening a school, and all other members of the executive will also be monitoring, just to make sure that all what we are told is well. And in the event of anything, we are in a position to intervene as quick as possible. But accordingly, we are ready, and we continue to place all those young people that are going to be assisting us in the classroom. As you know, that they must just make sure that the curriculum is, adhered to as per what we have planned, because we have had to amend the teaching plans, and they have to accommodate those learners that would have said would not be in a position to come at school, will be at home, make sure that their packs are available. And the 39 teachers that have said we have comorbidities, we want to be at home, just make sure that we give them a green light to say you are approved to be at home, because we have over 65,000 educators in Gauteng. So when you look at the number of those that might have said we would not be in a position to be in the classroom, we should be in a position to accommodate them. But when we look at what we have in terms of our preparations, I think we are ready, and we just want to welcome everyone in our schooling, and we teach on the first day. That's why we have been emphasizing that educators need to know on what to do, because rotation will continue. As we know that this pandemic is still with us, we will rotate as per what we were doing, during the last term, last year. So we will then continue with that, and make sure that all our teachers, parents that will be going, in our schools, everyone and learners, that they are safe at all times. And as far as your PPE, we have delivered all the textbooks that are required, stationery, those schools that depend on us, we have provided. Those that are in a position to order for themselves, they gave us reports that they have done so. So we are quite happy that all is well.